Alright, Bootleg Toys Vietnam. I do bootleg toy hunts and toy hauls here in Saigon. It's the end of the year, soon to be the year 2020, so let's do some worst of. And I realize all of these toys are pretty bad. I find them charming. Sometimes it's a so bad it's good scenario. So I wanted to just kind of go through all my crap from the last year of these hauls and hunts and kind of show you what I thought was the worst stuff. So I'm going to start with the 10th worst toy that I got, and I'm being generous here. This was a Black Panther Civil War Bandai bootleg that I picked up, and I hate it so much because I paid too much money for it. In fact, here's my receipt. Ooh, I paid more than $20 for this, which is crazy. It's the most I've ever spent on one individual thing, and it sucks so bad. I'm not even going to take it out. If you saw the original video, he's just like a puppet. All the joints are loose. You can't pose it. The hands are supposed to be different. They're the same, but what the hell did I expect? Anyway, I picked this up at Cafe FM, the Mecca shop here in District 10. Anyway, God, I can't even put it back in the box. Just so horrible. Anyway, the 10th worst bootleg toy of 2019, the Civil War Black Panther, which is just the coolest character design ever. I love Black Panther. I used to read the Priest issues when they were coming out as a high school reader. Anyway, that thing sucks. What's next? This is pretty bad. If you remember this, this would be my 9th entry in the campaign. They're just really super basic, seemingly very toxic, I would imagine. But you've got 2 soups, 2 bats, 2 Spideys. At first I found them charming, and then the more I look at it, the more this is a weird card on the back. Maybe you're... I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, it sucks so bad. It was less than $2. But man, doesn't that suck? Look at this. It's the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked. And here's Spider-Man 3 on the card. And they've also got the Batman, Superman image there on the card as well. Anyway, this thing sucked. There's the ninth worst thing that I wasted my money on this year. So, let's see. What's next up on the docket? Just a very basic, I love Transformers, but man, this thing sucks. I got this in Cholon, the Chinatown here in District 6, right at the border of District 6, District 5, if you recall. It has I know it's not Sunstreaker. Somebody commented and told me it's a mold from a line that I'm not familiar with, but you can see on the card it's meant to be gold on black, and then the actual figure is black on gold. Anyway, he sucks. It sucks so much. Robots in disguise. For robot mode, ages 3 and up, this guy stinks. But really it was this. This is what caught my eye. Just the horrible Prain Tau Ursa, which is just classic bootleg graphic design work. And the technical data, he sucks and is made in China. Imagine that. So, this guy sucks. That was number 8. Here's another one. My buddy Matt the Rat in Hollywood, California, he has me look for Donald Duck stuff. So he's got a nice little load of Donald Duck crap on its way for the Tet holiday. The induction remote aircraft. I call this Donald Drone. Best quality for your selection. Mickey Mini Flyer. Easy to use. Induction remote aircraft from Disney. Not quite. So really just more of a why. Why would you want a Donald Duck with props on his head? And I also paid too much for this. So this thing was one of the worst things I purchased in 2019. And this is funny to me too, right? 14 and up. God forbid a 13-year-old touch this toy. They might swallow it or something, right? So there we are. So let's see. We made it to number 6. Number 6, I'm going to kind of give it a two-way here. Alright, if you remember these, I did reviews, just review videos for each of these. Machine Dog, who, if you remember, is a dog, kind of a Clifford vibe. He's like a big dopey dog, and you can turn the key and the pickup truck turns into a big dopey dog. It's a car, can become a dog. So, the magical deformed car Machine Dog, he's one of the worst things that I found on the streets in 2019. Had to get it. Likewise, sort of a tie between him and the Thomas the Tank Transformer, which to me is just weird. Why Thomas, the friendly little happy train guy, needs to be a giant killer robot, I don't know. But if you remember the review video, it's actually not that bad. It's not one of the worst things I've bought. It's just kind of weird and unnecessary. So Thomas and Machine Dog, also making up some of the worst of 2019. Again, I'm going to have kind of a tie, goes to the runner here. These three, if you watched the Marvel Legends bootleg haul video, which was one of the most viewed videos in 2019, these are three of the worst. So it was the best of times, it was the blurst of times. This awful, awful Black Widow figure. The new trailer looks sweet. Can't wait for the movie. Looks to be similar in tone to my favorite Marvel film, The Winter Soldier. So she's got just no articulation, only the arms. No legs, no hips, no knees, no nothing. She does have the light that barely works. Two-tone neck, which barely is about to come off. Just a horrible, shitty figure, right? We got a little gun there. So, she's awful. And then I had a really bad Ant-Man, same thing. Just a not a great figure. More articulation, no knees, but he's just awful, awful, awful. It's kind of crunchy in my hands. He's about to fall apart, and his paint is bizarre. Just Ant-Man. And then last but not least, this is maybe the winner if I had to choose between the three, only because this Vision figure is a Henry Cavill Superman. If you look closely here, right, it's a Superman figure mold on the chest, and then it's just like one of those, like a big stale piece of Kraft cheese as his cape, which I don't think is yellow, but here we are. Anyway, really just craptacular, gloriously bootleg Vision. Some WandaVision for old Blue Eyes, who's not. Anyway, the Mandroid. The often underused Vision. So, that leaves three more spots, right? The top three here. And this is kind of sad for me to have in the worst, because I love it. I really actually love it. Of all the worst toys this year, I really find this charming because it's the most homemade of all of them. Like literally, it seems as if someone here spray painted these figures. I really, really, really love so much this Captain America Sentai that they've included in this set. It's just a wild card. Evil War Brigade, Batman's on there, Spider-Man's on there, Power Rangers, SPD. There's a different group of Sentai on the card. These all just kind of don't belong anywhere. This was just $1 US for the whole pack. It was made here in Vietnam, almost and nothing on the back of the card, which is also rare. So just kind of, this is probably in that category, best of the worst. So maybe this should have been number one. But anyway, I really do love this. But man, it sucks. And it's super, super cheap. But just the ultimate bootleg toy Vietnam. And again, made here. So almost everything that I find on the street is made in China. So here's the top. Now, number two, I'm going to give to this piece of crap. The Spider-Man Us, the Captain America. Clearly supposed to be a versus scenario. Really just the cap is just so bad. The paint job here is one of the worst I've ever seen on anything. The bad shield, just garbage, really garbage. And then they tell you, of course, that the Hulkbuster interacts with Titan Hero Tech Avengers, right, which has nothing to do with the Titan series or the Tech line. Spider-Man, some kind of bullet train or shuttle. And then, yeah, Avengers with a couple C's, the Union Legend. Just really bad. Titan Hero Tech, my ass. So this again made in China. Just awful stuff. So my worst toy of 2019, and you might not agree with me, but this is like the weirdest, wildest. If I had to pick a winner for the weirdest thing that I found all year, this was in the most, it was in a gift shop. It wasn't even in a toy store. It was hidden away in the rafters behind a bunch of plush figures. Super Warrior 4 First Edition. I hate so much the Bayverse Transformer everything. So it's just this awful Bayverse Prime with a giant axe. And then Pac-Man's there for some reason. Just this sort of inexplicable Namco Bayverse mashup. And then, of course, there's weathering, and it's clearly was hanging in the sun for a long time. This is Tai Kong Songers or whatever the hell Chinese. Just awful. Awful, awful, weird, horrible, horrible thing that nobody would have wanted. And then you've got a crappy Bumblebee on the card as well. But Changes in Warriors, this thing, to me, was the worst and the weirdest pickup of 2019. Tell me what you think. That's it from me. The 10 worst bootleg toys in Vietnam in 2019. Who knows what tomorrow and next year will bring. So, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Instagram, Bootleg Toys Vietnam. Have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your evening. See you next time. Peace.